everybody. Welcome back to another installment of Veterans Did You Know? My name is Dave Eling, and I'm the Director of the County Department of Veterans Affairs, and I'm going to be hosting today's show. And I think you're going to find it pretty interesting. Today we're at Muskegon Community College, and we're talking with the folks that deal with the veterans that are trying to get into school or going to school here, and some of the great programs that MCC has. And they're going to give you just a wealth of knowledge about what you should be doing and what you need to do if you'd like to come up here and get higher education, use that GI Bill that you've earned. And with me today is Nancy Maycroft, and Nancy, bless her heart, is a veteran herself of the Vietnam era. She's married to a vet. She has 2 kids that are in the service currently. One's coming back from Iraq, and one is going over to Afghanistan as we speak. So she's a mom and a veteran and an active duty member, and all rolled in one. And Nancy's job here is she's the admissions administrative.
I'm the financial aid, assistant director of financial aid / veterans. And what I do is I help the vets get certified so that they can start their education and drawing those benefits.
And also with us today is Jack. And Jack is a veteran himself, an Iraqi war vet who's just come home, and he's going to college himself. And Jack can tell you fellow veterans out there all the hoops that he had to jump through. And if you've ever dealt with the VA, you know it can just be absolutely frustrating. And even at the County Department of Veterans Affairs, it drives me nuts. I'm retired military, and I've been doing this for 22 years. And it just, you know, if they can mess it up, the VA will try to do it to you. So what we're trying to do is get some of those roadblocks out of the way, give you some heads up, because some of this is your responsibility also. You need to have stuff put together and have your paperwork ready. You just can't come down to MCC beginning of fall semester and say, okay, I'm going to use my GI Bill, sign me up, and somebody pay for this, because it's not going to happen that way. So these folks are going to give you the information that you need to make your transition from military life to civilian life to educational life a real smooth as it can be. So Nancy, Jack, why don't you guys start off with, if I'm a vet and I'm just coming back, I just got back from the war, and there's no jobs here in Muskegon County. Boy, I found that out real fast. And but I do have my GI Bill, and I probably should get some higher education. What do I do? Where do I start?
I guess first thing I'll be doing research. Come down here, depends where you're at. If you come down to MCC, come to MCC and just start asking questions. Come to the financial aid and talk to Nancy. Like you said, she's a vet, she knows more. So I talk to somebody.
Nancy, what do you do when they come in the door? Jack grabs a hold and says, here, I got a live vet here. Just got back and wants to be smart.
Well,
what does he have to do or she have to do?
What we do is we bring them into my office, we set them down, and we start talking about where they're at with their enlistment. Right now I'm working with he's not even a veteran yet. He's still on active duty in North Carolina that wants to take online classes with us. And he called me up and wanted to know. So when we get a vet that walks in the door, we sit down and find out where they're at, and where I have a brochure that I sit down with them, and it tells them, as being a brand new student, what needs to be done on the college side to get them as a student. And then I have another section that talks to them about how to get themselves certified, how to get themselves started in our office. So there's a number of things that we do with our vets before they get started. And then if they need more assistance, then I take them out to the computer and I'll sit down with them to work through it. Or I have Jack that will go, and I have another work study whose name is Timothy Brandt. He will take them out. So we work with our veterans to get them online to get all the paperwork done, because it can be a little difficult to get going. I mean, Jack had to do the same paperwork, so yeah. He can contest to.
In a way, we try to make it, I guess in a military term that everybody might know, is we break it down Barney style. We keep it as simple as possible. And you know, if you just follow the steps and you get your paperwork, you get what you need yourself. We can only do so much, and it'd be smooth sailing for the most part. Just pick your classes and show up on time.
You know, and what's the #1 document that they need to bring in with them?
DD-214.
There you go. I don't know how many places you're going to go. Listen to this. If your veterans are out there, if you don't know where it is, you better find it. And if you don't have it, we can help you get it. If you come down to the County Department of Veterans Affairs, we'll help you locate and get that DD-214. And I've said this to you many times before, all your services and all your benefits are all hinged on having that documentation. It's probably as most important as your birth certificate. You can be standing there in full battle gear and you know, in mud and dirt on your face that just got back, but if you don't have that discharge paper, end of discussion. So find it, have it, and secure it. If you have that discharge, you take it down to the county clerk's office, they'll register it for you, and it's on permanent file. So when you do come down to college, the first thing he says, let me see your 214, let me see if you have good paper, okay, and then when did you serve, and then they'll find out what kind of GI Bill that you have. There's many GI Bills out there. There are, you know, participatory ones, and the ones that you don't, the OV program. I think since 9/11 is when it came back with a new GI Bill that they have now. Yes. And there's nothing, voc rehab. If you're a disabled veteran, and you're eligible, and you may be eligible for voc rehabilitation, and again, that's going back to school. The VA pays you to go back to school to get retrained so that you can be functional and be employable and get out there. But again, that discharge paper is what you have to have.
Can I throw something in? We have a website that I set up when I started doing the veterans here on campus. I went out and explored other colleges and noticed you couldn't find a veterans website, even when you Googled it at the colleges. So what I did is I developed a website, and you're able to go out there under the veterans website, and I have related links. You can also request your DD-214 right from our web page. So there's a number of things that is out there for our veterans when they come to MCC, and I believe that that has a lot to do why we get veterans. I've had them call me from Iraq when they know they're getting ready to come home. What is it that I need to do? Where do I start? And I give them the directions, and then they come and we get them all set up for school.
Well, that's pretty interesting. Jeff, what's the lead time? You know, I think a lot of vets come in thinking, I'm going to walk into college, fall semester starting in 3 days, I'm going to walk in and get signed up, and Uncle Sam's going to send and pay for this because I do have the GI Bill, and I'm good to go. I don't think that's the way it works, is it? How much lead time, what did you have to do?
I think it was like 30 days for once you have registered, well, first become a student, but once you've registered for your classes, I think, because for me, I do the post 9/11. Mm-hmm. So a lot of my benefits are just covered. I don't have to worry because I also, I'm qualified under financial aid, so pretty much everything I'm getting is paid for.
But you had to come and get registered first.
But you have to get registered. You have to be a student.
Then you apply for the government, the VA, yes, for your GI Bill. Okay.
So for me personally, I just take a step back and let them deal with it. But other students, I think it's like roughly like 30, I'll say 30 to 60 days from when the VA actually gives the check to the school. So a lot of students have to pay out of pocket, but they'll get reimbursed.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I'll say about 60 days max.
So to avoid having to pay that initial out of your pocket, if you
come down,
do a little homework and get a little advanced recon, if you will,
exactly,
put yourself in the system, then everything will go smoothly. Your check will be there when you're ready to start school, and there's not a...
An advice that I'm going to give to the vets is, regardless of your age, you are the one attending school. It's your grade, your class. Don't have mom come down. Have her advise, because sometimes parents can break it down so it's easier to understand, but we get a lot of individuals come in and it's the parents, and when stuff goes wrong, it's, well, why isn't it happening? Well, you didn't do it, you didn't sign up, you don't know what's going on. So just make sure it's you coming down. For the most part, you're the one that served. Be proud that you have the ability to lead.
Yeah, super.
And a lot of our veterans don't understand that they could also qualify for FAFSA. That's a free application for federal student aid. When post 9/11 came in, the government lifted the requirements of saying if you're getting any benefits from the military, and many of our veterans are finding that, wow, I've got some more money out there that I can get. And many of them believe that they have to pay that money back. And then I sit down and I explain to them, you don't have to pay that money back. That's money that you have worked for, that everybody has paid into, and take advantage of it. Depending on what chapter you're in, it could help you in a lot of ways, because for chapter 33s, the vets have to buy their textbook out of pocket. And many veterans can't afford that. Well, if you've got financial aid now has paid for your classes, paid for your textbooks, and now you wait for Uncle Sam to catch up on your military benefits. So there are a lot of avenues that a veteran can take to help themselves, and all they've got to do is stop in.
And that's probably the most important thing. You know, it's stressful. You just came out of the military, and it was pretty regimented, and somebody's always telling you where to go, what to do, and when to get there, and everything else. And for now, like Jack said, you came out, and okay, now it's your responsibility. You got to take the lead on this, and you're the point person because there's nobody back there behind you, and it's your future. And the government has put things in place to help you. I mean, a lot of kids that are getting out of high school that don't have the military behind them are pretty struggling, depending on mom and dad or working. And here's its opportunity for you to get a portion of your college paid for, but you've earned it. Now, those are benefits that you've earned, and I can't tell you the number of Vietnam vets I know that let that GI Bill just go away and drop, and they lost the benefits.
Not to interrupt, but the funny thing is we had a vet or two come in now wanting to register and expecting that they earned this GI Bill, which they did, but it's already been
10 years,
10, 12 years, and now they don't rate that money, and now they're lost. You know, they wanted to come to school to better their education, to get a better job because of the economy, but now they can't because they waited too long.
Yeah, there's a 10 years after you, unless there's some circumstances, but normally 10 years from the time you were discharged from the military, those benefits expire. And now you can start them at the 9-year, 9-month and whatever else and still use them, but you've got to open that up and start using that GI Bill before the 10-year mark or you've lost it. And what a shame. This is such a tremendous benefit that you've earned, and just to put it on the side. And quite frankly, we all know, you come back to Muskegon, Michigan, or any place in Michigan, there just aren't no jobs out there. And I've seen many veterans have to make that decision of going back into the military, re-enlisting and trying to go back in again, even though they know they're probably going to go back overseas simply because there were no jobs, they had no other options. Your education, that's the key, is to get a job, get a career, and let the military help pay for it for you, or the government help pay for it, because you've earned that, and get back into the programs here. And MCC has a tremendous reputation. They have folks down here that get it, that know about vets. They work with us at the Vet Center. If there's other things that pop up that they don't handle, they know where to refer you down, and we can help just make it easy for you. But again, don't point fingers, don't get angry, because we're not the government, we're not the VA. We just try to expedite it for you, but you got to do things yourselves. All right, we're going to wrap it up here for a minute, and then we just take a quick break here and thank some of our sponsors who are coming on board to make this program happen. So we'll be back with you in just a few minutes.